This is Julian, and I'm here in Berlin, Germany, and what I want this video here to serve as is a reminder of the truth. Okay, the truth that we are not so disconnected, we are not so different. In reality, we are more connected than ever. You know, it's so easy to believe that everyone else has their life together, everyone else is so much better than us, and we are such fuck-ups when that is a lie. Okay, a lie you bought into. The more personal the wound, the more universal the wound. And this is what I want this video to be about. And what we're gonna jump into are some sharing segments from Transformation Mastery Live, which happen at the end of the event, where some people come up in front and share a little bit about themselves, their stories, their realizations, what they went through. And some of these might be a little painful and hard to watch, but they are fucking real. And if you're someone here who might feel alone, that doesn't belong, you're like, why is everyone so different? You know, who am I like? Who am I? It resonates with me. This video will reconnect you with the fact that you aren't alone. We're all so fucking similar. We all go through hard times. We all have stuff inside of us we're dealing with. This is what this video is about. Enjoy. In today's world, society, if you're depressed, if you're down, if you're sad, you're shamed for it. People tell you there's something wrong with you. Oh, you're sad, there's something wrong with you. There's something fucked inside of you. Is that gonna make you feel better? Like for real, say you take someone who's like just really sad all the time, like, there's something wrong with you, you weak shit. That should fix you. It'll just make you feel worse, because you're shamed for how you feel. And then, not only that, but everyone puts on a front, amplified with social media, where you feel completely alone. Because you think no one else is ever sad. Can you imagine, like, you're sad and you literally feel like and believe no one else is ever sad except you. And then you're shamed for it. It's wrong to feel sad. Fuck. Don't believe social media and don't believe the fronts people put on. No one here would ever admit to it. Everyone here is like, I'm just normal, I'm doing great. But I can guarantee you a lot of people here went through a lot of fucked up shit. A lot of people here considered suicide. A lot of people here were abused as children. A lot of people here were abused by their parents. Harsh to say, but I can guarantee you're not going to show it. A lot of you can relate to this. A lot of you are constantly depressed, constantly feel down, constantly feel like there's no hope, constantly feel like you're disconnected, like there's nothing that works for you. You have that fear in the back of your mind, like, maybe nothing will ever work for me. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is as good as it gets. Maybe there's something a little different in me than everyone else. A lot of you here feel alone, like there's nowhere you belong. Even if you're hanging out with people, you don't actually feel like you belong. And that, you think, is just you. You've been hearing this, like, he's right, it's just me. It's everyone. And it's mind-blowing to see. Like, when you see some of the sharing, you're just like, what the fuck? All these people, when you walk in the room, you just assume they're normal, I'm the fuck up, they're normal. And then they all open, it's like, shit, they're just like me. What the fuck? And that there, it won't solve it. You have to really dive deep into, you know, what's, you know, keeping that state alive if you're just really stuck in that state, or release past trauma that's just really fucking you up, let's just say. But that first step of just like accepting it a little bit more is so therapeutic. You know, we're all so convinced that everyone else is better, and that we're the only fuck-ups. Everyone is fucked up. And it's not bad, it's called being human. And the more open we can be about it, the better. And the less we shame ourselves for how we feel and what we're going through, the better as well. Because if you resist it and you hide it, it's going to stay there. And it'll keep you disconnected from other people.
It's crazy how any of us can manage without something like this. I only hope, you know, you guys share it with your family, your friends, the people you love. Because I think we all need this. Julian, it's really, honestly, an amazing thing you're doing here. I only really wanted to come up and say thank you. After today, I was saying to my group, it's been the first time in over 10 years since my dad died that I actually felt like I did before. And I feel like well, I'm sure my mum, my sister, my brother will thank you too, because I'll be able to be that son again. That's it.
When you come from a country, like a third world country, it's very rough. Like, everybody's fucking rough. Like, this shit is like, my mom was just like a tyrant. Her mom left her, and she left me when I was like 4. And that shit, I couldn't, that shit, it's okay. I ain't had no dad or nothing like that. I had no. Thank you. My whole life I felt worthless. Like, my mom left me, my dad left me. Like, I felt worthless, man. I grew up in a rough neighborhood too, so, man, you couldn't imagine the shit that happened. I got beat up so many times, like harsh beat ups, man. And I felt so ashamed of who I was, man. Like, I couldn't win, man. Like, nothing could work. I was called ugly throughout my whole life. And this experience taught me, man, like, I'm okay with who I am. I accept who I am. I felt so ashamed. Like, I felt so much shame when it comes to being me. And now I don't feel that shame anymore. And I know it's a lot of work to do, and I still believe there's something still in there. And I'm willing to go in there and be with myself, because nobody was there. People was there for me, but nobody was there for me emotionally, man. And thank you, everybody, for being here. I believe that I feel united, friendly. I always felt disconnected, but now I feel connected with people now. So thank you, guys.
When I was 7 years old, my father passed away. I had my mother with me and my little brother, and we stood all through that. Half a year ago, my little brother decided to kill himself. So since then, I don't really know where I want to go, and what did he think to end his life? Because I'm a very happy person, and I like to live. So I don't understand that. But so there are 3 things I learned today. The first thing is that I want to thank my mother and tell her that I love her, because I don't know where she gets that power from, but she stood all through that. She stays strong. She protects me whatever I do. And I don't know how she does that, but the best mother that I have. Okay, the second thing is that I learned a tool to get myself out of the situation, to release it within myself, to get over it, to live after it, to be happy again. And the third point that I find most important is that I think that with these techniques, if you amp them up a little bit, you can maybe prevent somebody from committing suicide. So I have the plan that no one ever commits suicide in my presence. And I think that I have techniques that will help me to accomplish that. And I love you guys. Thank you.
I was really scared to come to this event, and I honestly didn't know why. I knew I was running away from something, and I knew that this was going to be the answer, but I didn't know what I was running away from. And then I figured it out.
It's okay.
I've been hurt in the past. Real bad. Not sexually or anything, but just emotionally taken advantage of. When people know you're always there for them, they just, if you don't protect yourself, they will just see somebody they can trust and that they can rely on, and then you just take that on board as if it's your responsibility, but I realized that it wasn't. And I realized also that I have a huge trust issue with guys.
A lot of them here.
Because of the fact that it's my ex-boyfriend that hurt me so much. And here I just realized you guys don't want to take advantage of us. It's all in my head. So that's like a huge, really a huge epiphany for me. So I just really want to thank each and every one of you out of the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys. Thank you.
When I was very young, I grew up admiring my cousin extremely, who was like this. He was like the guy around where like I grew up. He like had all the cool friends. Everyone admired him. He got all the girls. And growing up, I always felt like I got rejected. I got rejected by my friends, by the girls I liked, and it got really, really bad to a point where it was like, I don't know if it really was like a depression, but it was close to like a depression. And I think I actually hit rock bottom when I actually started, and I've never told that to anyone, I started cutting myself. Like my entire upper arm is scarred, and yeah, but I lifted myself up through it, and I found friends, but I felt like it was still, some of it was still running me, and through transformation mastery, I found a way to like take charge again and dive into it, and yeah, let's go of it. And I know I still have a long way to go, but I wanted to thank you, Julian, for like showing me a way, and yeah, that's it.
My mom has been ashamed about me for like all my childhood because I was overweight. I was not good enough for her. I was just the fat girl, and it has really like impacted my life. I have been using a lot of like substance to just numb everything, and I just stop everything, and to deal with all the shit who come up, it's really hard. And yeah, it's just like, I don't know, it's just the best experience of my life what I just had today, and it's just amazing. And yeah, and after, I want to say sorry for Julian. Because the first time I saw a video of you 1 year ago, like someone showed me, and I was just like, who is this like pretentious guy, super fake, this like fake guru, like, I think I was just the pretentious girl, fake girl and everything, and you literally changed my life, and I'm really grateful for that, and thank you, and it's really nice to be with people who don't judge and feel love, and I all love you guys, really, and thank you so much, really.
When I was young, I was always a fat kid, and it got worse and worse until I got into college, and then there was a break, and I somehow got into a diet and started losing weight. And then it took a few years, and I lost a good amount of weight, but it's always felt like unstable and shaky. And last year, or not last year, 2016, I injured myself, like my knee and my shoulder, and I couldn't really train anymore. Not like the old way, just shitty training, basically. And yeah, I got really depressed about that, and actually got suicide thoughts, and started binge eating, and saw also what I accomplished going down the drain. Yeah. And I want to thank Julian for putting out this program, because it was like a light in the dark for me to hold on. Thank you.
Being raised in a home by a father who was a military vet who suffered not only from PTSD, but self-medicated by becoming an alcoholic. Because his father was an alcoholic, and his father's father was an alcoholic, and we come from a long family line of alcoholics. And a lot of his frustrations and his former problems he would take out on after nights of drunken rages would be on his wife and kids. He was extremely abusive, and my mother, because of her chronic back conditions from several car accidents, became a pill junkie, because that's what happens when you have to deal with pain and you can't afford good health care in a poor Hispanic family. I attribute a lot of the problems in my life to my childhood because of that, and it carried over into my adulthood, and it still has at this point. But beyond my friendships and my relationships being damaged by this, I began becoming conscious of it and trying to work on myself as much as possible. And the threshold of that came up to a head this year, when I never really understood the negative behaviors that I learned from my parents that I still harbored inside, until I had reconnected with my best friend, and she and I had been friends for 12 years, and she was my first love, and we were together for about a year, and it was great, but we had so many problems, and I had to recognize that I was the one who fucked it up. And at first I blamed her, and it was selfish of me to do that, because I didn't take the step back and say, wow, I didn't do the work on myself necessary to make it possible for us to work. And never before in my life had I felt so much pain, because the way she left was, it was my fault how things, that things ended. And the way she left, I was just so, it gave me such a sense of betrayal and just disrespect, to the point where never before in my life did I have thoughts that felt suicidal until that point. Never before had I felt such pain for losing someone who not only was my best friend, but I saw them as family, and I loved them at every level. And that was the inspiration for me coming here today, because I had no way of being able to deal with that pain. I had no way of being able to handle it. And for the first time in my life, I finally feel an inner stillness and peace in myself that I never want to lose. And I hope I can hold this again and again. And I thank you all for being here for the first time in my life and cherishing that.
I was the only kid pretty much who could not learn English. And that had this effect on me where people could bully me without it being reported to the teacher. Because I couldn't stand up for myself. I didn't speak the language. I couldn't say, yo, teacher, I'm having a hard time. These kids are bullying me. So I remember one time I got really courageous, and I said to one teacher, teacher, these kids, I didn't know they were laughing. So I said, these kids, they're smiling at me. And I remember the class hearing it, and now all the men were laughing tremendously because they knew that they were bullying me. And I was trying to stand up for myself and say, this is not right, but it couldn't happen because I couldn't speak the language, and the teacher thought everything was fine. So every time I tried to tell her something, she was like, yeah, you're fine, just play with the kids, just play with the kids. And so I kept getting bullied more and more, of course, when we were playing soccer. I dreaded going out to the soccer field during recess because I knew that people would not pass me the ball. They were just thinking, yeah, you're not in, you're out, you're not part of us, get out of here. So what I did on purpose was I wasn't completing my homework because I knew if I don't complete my homework, then I'll be stuck in class and I'll be doing puzzles and completing the homework and actually being in the presence of other girls who didn't go out to the soccer field and play with the guys. They were drawing inside and they were laughing about things, and that was great. But I didn't realize how much I actually hated that part of me that was rejected when I was a little boy. The part that right now I really want to hug and forgive because that was the one I was running away from the whole time that I was on the streets, and the whole time I was trying to prove to other men that I can be like you, I can be as successful as you, I can be as smart as you, as gifted as you. So being here today with you all and not really having any women in the room made me feel very uncomfortable at first. But now that I feel welcome and I feel accepted, I'm very grateful, and I just want to say thank you.
I was that with 16 years old at the soccer game. My heart stopped beating and my father reanimated me. And for the last 10 years, I've been living with this shit in my life pretty much. Whatever I was doing, I would always try to make them less worry about me because they're worried about whatever happened to me because I was dead for 4 days, I was in coma. Their worry was killing me inside. And it crippled me and I couldn't live properly because I would always think, oh, are they going to worry about me? And today I shared this inner thought or inner demons that were like killing me inside with people that I met today, which is freaking amazing. And it made me feel better, and I want to thank you for this.
Yeah. I grew up hating men, like really, due to some stuff that happened. And if you hate something so much, then you usually end up attracting the thing you hate. So I usually ended up in a relationship with guys that weren't really good for me. On the other hand, I also found some interesting hashtags about men who are also hated. So that's why I'm here. And maybe I wrote a thing or two, who knows? Well, these two things sort of crossed when the last man in my life broke it off, and I end up myself so depressed, so broken that I signed up for this thing. That was 3-4 months ago. During that time I became pretty much a different person, and that guy also, and in the end we ended up together, and it's like being with somebody completely different. And it's also thanks to this program, thanks to all the books and the videos, because thanks to all this material, we both grew to be people who are actually good for each other. So thank you for myself, and thank you for my boyfriend.
I underestimated this event. I was a little doubtful. I was like, how good could it be? And I was here, and I'm like, I just did not expect to go through so many walls and barriers of myself. Ever since my stepdad got locked up again this year, like I've had so much pressure as being the oldest son in my family to help out my mom, pay my own rent apart from that. So I'm working all these hours, and I barely get to see my family, but I'm expected as a man to have like this tough skin, you know, like don't show emotion. You know, you gotta support your mom, you gotta support your sister, your brother, all of them, and you gotta like keep your shit together at the same time. So, and I just haven't been able to like be expressive about it. I just had like this cold front, and that's just scratching the surface. So many things going on. I had no idea that you would really get into like working into your inner child and going back into your core like that, and it felt painful, but it was a lot of resistance I had to experience. There was so much damage that came up during this repression, getting bullied for being poor, and now I'm here with you guys, and I just don't feel really judged. Like, who cares about how much money I have or what I'm doing with that? What matters is that I'm spreading the love and I'm healing myself, and by doing that I can contribute back more to the world if I myself feel wholesome. Thank you guys. Thank you, Julian. Thank you, RSD. Thank you, everyone.
I'm up here because I experienced something right now that I did not expect, and that's for the first time feeling that I'm here with myself, so to say. Like, I don't know if you can say it in another way, but I'm here, and like when we look back to our childhood or past memories, and being able to say that I forgive myself, like being there with myself. Back then, if I knew that today I would forgive myself, I think I'd feel a lot more better with things that happened, or things I did, or things I fucked up, or things I regret now. Like, if I knew I would be able to sit here with myself and say, I forgive you, and you're doing fine, and you'll be good, it's gonna be all right, I think I'd feel a lot better. And just knowing that in the future I'll probably look at myself now and say that you're doing great, you're just keep being yourself, just keep trying, keep doing whatever you want to do. It's so freeing, and I'm gonna try more things. I'm gonna be more courageous. I'm gonna like stop doubting myself and just live and do what I want. So this is huge. I just want to thank everyone who's here, who made this possible, and I think this is going to change my life forever.
I've never told my parents that I love them, and I never told my sister that I love her for decades now, for such a long time. And here I start realizing, hey, that's a problem for me. I want to change that. And yeah, I will call them and say that I love my sister, and say to my parents that I love them. And it feels so hard to do so, but I will do this.
I was at the Transformation Mastery Live in Copenhagen, and when we did the Imagine You're Dead meditation, I was a mess. I felt like I missed out on so much in my life. I did not pursue my passion. My biggest passion in my life is dancing, and I also felt very alone. I did not have really good relationships. Today, when we did the Imagine You're Dead meditation, I felt quite calm. I did not feel sad. I felt happy. I felt like if I would die now, I would be okay with it. Because for these past few months, after the Transformation Mastery Live in Copenhagen, I decided to pursue my passion again. And I started dancing, and I met awesome people, and now I have a dance crew. Shout out to my dance crew, Open Sesame. And I also realized I have truly amazing people around me, and I start connecting with them on a much more deeper level. My family, my awesome boyfriend, and some other friends that I lost touch with. Okay, now I forgot everything. Basically, just to sum it up, Transformation Mastery Live in Copenhagen helped me tremendously, and it made me pick up my passion again.
Like many of you, I spent many years of my life having this feeling of there being something fundamentally wrong with me. For me, it was around not being able to socialize, being the quiet guy who never spoke up and just didn't know what to do, just observed. And it was to the point where at 16 years old, I was writing letters to my 4 younger siblings. I'm the oldest of 4. I have three younger sisters and a younger brother, telling them how much I love them, because I believe that suicide was the only outcome, like the only plausible outcome of this. And through like RSD and doing a lot of pickup and socializing and stuff, that was amazing for me for the last like 3 years, because it led to this kind of core confidence of having kind of chosen to face this challenge that was like there for so many years. And today I didn't have like this very like intense experience. There was like times where I was crying, but it made me kind of realize how far I've come, and also how much I've been helped on that journey, a lot by RSD, by Owen, by Julian. And it also, what was really cool was to kind of experience the intense experiences of you guys, seeing that people carry these things, even though we don't see it. And it really kind of motivates me to, well, to see that there's a lot to be done, there's work to be done, and to, as cheesy as it sounds, commit to love for the rest of my life, commit to life, to really commit to it and do my best. I'm 21 years old right now, and feeling a lot of optimism about the future, and thanks a lot.
It's amazing to know that there's like other people out there, and I'm not the only person who I'm going through shit. It's so fucking crazy. Like, we go out there in life, we see people in the street, and the things that we fucking feel so fucking isolating, man. Sometimes I feel like screaming, sometimes it's like, it's a bubbling like here, it's a fucking annoying, you know, but just like coming here and like seeing all like these people, like, and that they are going through shit, or hearing people crying, I don't know, you know, it's all like really amazing, and it empowers me even more, you know, to, like you said, don't try to be cool, to just be myself, and to realize that whatever I'm going through, it's fucking okay, you know? It's okay, because like we have forgotten something. We have forgotten that we are fucking human beings. We are not machines, we are not computer. I have a fucking heart, okay? And I don't give a shit what other people think about me. And I don't know, like, I want to feel free, that's all. And thank you guys, like really, it's fucking epic, like even having the crowd like literally here. And it's so amazing, like it's definitely like that program, it's not like, it's a push for me that it's like, that's how the journey starts, you know? I feel it's a push for everybody, because like, of course, like we still like have work to do, you know? But I think that spark is enough to just like literally put ourselves like more out there. Like even now, I don't know what to say, because I was thinking, but fuck it. I just want to give like a big scream to a crowd. I never did it. Can I scream? Yeah! Yes. Yeah! Yeah!
remember this moment and remember today. Okay, you're gonna go back out in the real world after this, and everyone's really good at putting on a front. It's back to reality, and it's easy to get sucked back in, as I mentioned before, the routine of things. Okay, things are gonna get tough, challenges are gonna be thrown your way, tough times will come. Okay, remember this day and remember what you did today, because I didn't do it, you did it. I simply guided you through it. Okay, you did this on your own, you can do it again. And if ever you get sucked back into thinking that everyone else has it so perfect and it's just you, remember what you heard here today. Remember what the people were saying. The more personal, the more universal. You know, we think we're all so different. Bullshit. It's just some lie we bought into.
If we're related, we'll meet. So today I feel like I've met my family and everybody else here has also.
It's just amazing that something like this exists, that people can share with each other what they feel.
I found out some deep issues I had within me.
Just being able to finally find that root reason.
That feeling just for 2 seconds, if I could get that just one more time, I would die a happy man.
All the time I felt like there was something missing.
I really feel like I've just addressed all these problems that have been like sitting inside of me.
Realize now I'm getting lighter and I'm getting less shakier, and I think it was one of the best decisions.
I've been hanging around with people for 2 years. I have like a stronger connection to some of you right now than I have with them.
I feel like this is gonna save my life, and it's like I'm heading towards the right goal.
Now I'm sure that this is the right path.
It was epic.